Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today, my friends here at Holmes Honda in Shreveport, Louisiana have loaned me this 2020 Honda Accord Sport for the day. There's not anything new per se as far as the 2020 model year goes, but you will find what you would expect. You have two engine options. Both are very efficient with fuel mileage. You'll find a nice, comfortable, and fairly large interior. The average adult is going to be very comfortable in the front or back seat, and a lot of storage space. We're going to take a look at the interior and exterior features and go over some of the features as far as the cargo area that I think you are going to find important. Okay guys, want to cover something here real quick concerning the fuel door and capless fuel fill. Right now, I can open the fuel door, but notice there's no gas cap. The good news is when you lock the vehicle, automatically you will also lock the fuel door. So I'm going to open that back up. One of the items you will find in the storage area of the trunk where your tools are to change your spare tire if you need to do so is this little funnel right here. If you ever need to put gas into your Accord, being that it has capless fuel fill, there's actually two different baffles that have to be punctured in order to access the actual gas tank itself to fill it up. The nozzle at the stations you go to, the gas stations, they're long enough to do that. But if you use a gas can, its filler neck is not quite long enough to do so. That's why you have this. When you push this funnel in, it's going to puncture both baffles, and then you can use the gas can to fill the gas tank if that's something you have to do. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about rear cargo space. But before we open the trunk, let's talk a little bit about the exterior on the rear of this Accord. You will find a nice sporty looking spoiler. Yes, it is a nice finisher on the Accord Sport, and it actually seems to be the right amount. It's the right size. It's not too big and it's not too small, and it's just contoured really perfectly for this particular car. You'll also find dual exhaust finishers on the lower portion of the rear bumper. And then we open the rear trunk up to see what can become a total amount of cargo space of 16.7 cubic feet. And you can lower the rear seats, which is how you're going to achieve that 16.7 cubic feet of cargo space. But don't go looking on the interior in the back seat for a way to lower those rear seats. There are actually two different latches here to release the rear seats and lower them in the trunk itself. I'm showing you those on your screen. Now here's something that is going to be very helpful to you if you need to raise the floor here to access either the funnel that I showed you earlier or the spare tire and the tools to change the spare tire. Because honestly, when you pick this up, you can fold it, but it's kind of in the way. But there is a way to actually put this up where it's completely out of the way, and you're just going to push up on it. Once you've folded this two-piece floor, you're going to shove that all the way up towards the back, and it's going to literally lock in place, and it's very easy to get in and out of that position. But that way, it makes accessing the tools back here, the funnel, and the spare tire so much easier. A nice, simple, but yet very effective feature that Honda has engineered into the Accord. Okay guys, just a quick little overview of the back seat here, and you'll find quite a bit of storage space here, from the pockets on the rear seats to the storage bins on the driver and passenger side rear doors. You also have a fold-down armrest with cup holders and dual air conditioning vents. You will also find right here on the lower part of the seats on each side the child safety seat latch system that is built into the vehicle. And the sportiness, of course, continues here into the front seat with the sport pedals that are nice aluminum pedals, and that includes the gas brake and the dead pedal on the left-hand side of the driver's footwell. You have a power moonroof here and a leather-wrapped steering wheel that is very comfortable with steering wheel mounted controls and paddle shifters on the rear. If you wish to drive in sport mode, you can shift your 10-speed automatic transmission with those paddles if you wish to do so. Steering wheel mounted controls that allow you to do quite a bit here. It's really pretty self-explanatory. You look at what you need and you see it there. It's just obvious what you're looking at. But one thing I do want to point out here, on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, there's the home and back button. Of course, you can control the radio stations and volume here in that area as well. But the little wheel in the center, on the left-hand side of the nicely laid out instrument cluster, you can go between a multitude of settings and information. And when you find something that you want, as you scroll through with the little wheel right here, all you're going to do is push on that wheel, and then it's going to allow you to go in and get more information or whatever you need to do. The infotainment screen itself is simple to use and navigate. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Of course, the knobs for the radio volume and surfing between stations there too. A lot of different options for how you control the radio. Dual zone climate control. You've got a little storage area underneath that with a USB port and a 12-volt power outlet if you need that. A couple of cup holders here and the push button shifter that, if you've never used before, don't let that scare you away from this car. It's very easy to use and very easy to get used to. Of course, the buttons there for driving in either eco mode or sport mode, electric parking brake and brake hold, and a nice console here, a reasonable amount of space, and another USB port. And you have a little removable tray here that you can use. You can put a couple of things in there, some change, whatever, and you can take that out if you want to. The driver's seat is power and fully adjustable. The passenger seat is also fully adjustable, but it is manually adjustable. Overall, everything here is very easy to use and very easy to navigate. Depending on what engine comes under the hood of your Accord Sport, there are two different options. The 1.5 liter and 2 liter 4-cylinders, both turbocharged, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. As far as this model goes, it does have the 2 liter 4-cylinder, putting out 252 horsepower and 273 foot-pounds of torque. And like I said, the fuel mileage is very impressive, even to have a reasonable amount of horsepower, as you will find here. 22 miles per gallon in the city and 32 miles per gallon when you're driving out on the highway. One thing I will say that I would like to see that's not here, but I like the way it's set up anyway. You don't have the struts that automatically raise the hood. But I do like the fact that the stand that holds the hood up right here is actually located in a position where it's out of the way. Some are way up here in the front on some vehicles. I like the fact that Honda has this set up to where when you mount it where it's supposed to be here in the hood, it's on the kind of towards the rear on the right-hand side. It is really out of the way and not an inconvenience when people have to get under the hood to work on it or whatever the case may be. The 2020 Honda Accord does come with a number of standard safety features. This particular model comes with Honda Sensing, which is Honda's safety suite that is chocked full of numerous driving aids to keep you and your passengers safe when you're out on the road. All right, guys, we're gonna hop out on the road here with the Accord Sport. And I'm not really in a position where I can get on it too hard yet, but I can tell you the acceleration is very impressive. And while the horsepower and torque numbers are most certainly not the highest you can purchase today, that's for sure, it really fits the sportiness of this Accord. Being called an Accord Sport is super fitting for the way this car handles, for the way it just overall, the driving experience. The ride is good. I like the fact that the ride is really pretty smooth. And the steering wheel is responsive. A lot of cars that would fit into the category of a sedan like this one, yeah, the steering's a little bit heavier. It's not as responsive. The steering wheel itself is comfortable, and I just like the fact that it really is pretty close to sports car-like. I wouldn't go that far with it, but it's awfully close. And for the price, around $35,000, the way the car handles, the way it drives, the way it ultimately performs under full acceleration is really impressive. And as a driver, I'm comfortable. I don't feel cramped by any means. And 5'10", I know I'm probably about average on height. I'm not uncomfortable. I have the seat set in a very comfortable position. Everything is easy to get to, easy to reach. If I was going to pick a car off of the Honda lot at Holmes Honda and they say, man, just take it on a cross-country trip, this would definitely be one of the top cars on my list, not only because it has a reasonable amount of horsepower and it's just fun to drive, but it is really comfortable. And I'll tell you what, Shreveport, Louisiana, where I live here in Northwest Louisiana, is a wonderful place to test something like that, because while the road that I'm on right now is really smooth, there are a lot of roads in this region that are anything but. Okay guys, little acceleration test there for you to just kind of show you what this Accord Sport is capable of. And I'm going to tell you what, it's impressive. The horsepower numbers, like I said earlier, may not be as high as some vehicles, even in the particular class that this Accord fits into, but I'm very impressed. This is a somewhat light car, and it really runs. Okay guys, that will bring to a close my time here at Holmes Honda with the 2020 Honda Accord Sport. I'd like to thank the dealership for loaning me this car for the day. And if you are in the market for any Honda vehicle and you live in or around the Northwest Louisiana area, or you're just interested in maybe trying a different dealership than your local Honda dealership, make sure to check out HolmesHonda.com. And if you talk to somebody here, tell them you found out about them from Tom at Vehicle Visionary. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to watch. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel just yet, make sure to click that subscribe button and hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed it. That helps me a lot to get this video in front of more people. Leave me a comment and let me know that you are here, and I will see you next time on Vehicle Visionary.